Coming up on Mountain News this morning, a local science center offers an out-of-this-world experience to Eastern Kentucky students, and a local library creates a new program focusing on children with sensory issues, giving them a safe place to listen to some stories.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning to you, 5:33 on this Thursday morning. I'm Dakota Makris. Thanks for joining us this morning. As always, well, let's head over to Brandon this morning. Brandon, not much to track this morning weather-wise, but I guess you kind of are tracking the heat that's making its way in.
Yes, we are tracking that. That's on the way back today. Yeah. This is the hottest day of the week by far, especially if we make it into the 90s. And it's going to feel like summertime out there once again. Let's take a look at our cameras this morning. Buffalo Mountain and Perry County, not too much going on. 61 up there and 61 in town in Hazard. 60 in Manchester, 60 in Monticello, 55 in Clintwood. I told you Prestonsburg would get down to 59. That's where they're at right now. 56 in Irvin, 57 in Wayne. Everybody else is 60 or above at this point. I gave you some of the cooler temperatures there, but we've got Jacksboro, Moorhead, and Jackson in a three-way tie for the warmest spot in the region at 68. Sunrise 6:15 this morning, sunset 8:59. Temperatures soar into the low 90s today, and again, those dew points will increase. Maybe some stray chances for passing showers or storms a little bit later this afternoon in the heat of the day, but overall, not too bad today. Next few days, though, rain chances increase just a little bit. Dakota?
All right, Brendan, thank you. Well, Kentucky State Police are looking into a crash that happened in Wayne County Tuesday afternoon. It was at the intersection of Kentucky 90 and Highway 1546. State police say a motorcycle traveling south hit a pickup truck. The driver of the motorcycle was 28-year-old Michael W. McClellan. He was pronounced dead at the scene by the Wayne County coroner. The two people in the truck, 81-year-old Delmar G. Brumley and 71-year-old Wendell T. Kelsey, were taken to UK Hospital in Lexington for life-threatening injuries. One person is in critical condition after being injured at an industrial work site in Bell County. Middlesboro Fire Department EMS posted these images on Facebook yesterday. Officials say just before 8 o'clock Wednesday evening, they were dispatched to the Middlesboro Country Club, where an employee fell into a drill cellar, receiving life-threatening injuries. Due to the seriousness of the injuries and location, first responders had to perform life-saving care on the site before the person was flown to a hospital. Their current condition has not been released at this time. We're learning more about a suspect out of Tennessee shot and killed by police in Louisville. Kentucky State Police say Samuel Quinton Edwards was wanted for shooting a police officer during a chase north of Nashville on Monday night. They say he was on the run until Tuesday night when Edwards smashed into another car at an intersection in Louisville. One man says he watched it all happen right in front of him.
As soon as it happened, the police got out and they started shooting. It's just you didn't have a time to brace for it. If there was people around, they couldn't take cover. It just all happened like an action movie.
Well, the officer Edwards was suspected of shooting is now recovering at home. A robbery call in Pike County led officers on a chase early Wednesday morning, leaving one man behind bars. Pikeville police officers say 40-year-old Travis Reynolds was caught breaking into a tool truck before leading an officer on a high-speed chase through the Coal Run and Cowpen areas. Officer Tommy Fouts says he was eventually caught and arrested after leading them on a foot chase, and the situation could have been worse. He urges neighbors who find themselves witnesses to these kind of situations to be cautious.
The public just needs to try to stay back into a safe area. You know, obviously they don't want to try to come close to it. If they see, you know, an officer running on foot, you know, you need to stay in your vehicle and stay where you're at and stay in a safe area.
Reynolds was taken to the Pike County Detention Center facing at least 15 charges. The Laurel County Sheriff's Department has issued a golden alert for Ryan L. King. King was last seen around 9 o'clock Wednesday evening off Philpott Road just south of London, and the Sheriff's Office says he has intellectual disabilities. Anyone with information is asked to contact the Laurel County Sheriff's Office at the numbers listed on your screen. A historic amount of drugs was taken off the streets in one southern Kentucky town. That is what Somerset police say about a recent drug bust that netted 2 federal indictments. 30 pounds of meth were confiscated. Our Phil Pendleton talked with the former meth dealer who says the 2 suspects need to understand there's a much better way.
Michael Hampton says he can relate to what landed 2 people in jail in Somerset's largest drug bust in history.
I was living a life of chaos. I'm a 16-year methamphetamine addict, and I've celebrated 10 years today.
A knock on his door at his Burnside home landed him in jail. Now in the same house he was dealing out of, others are being treated.
Yes, actually, unfortunately, I sold a lot of meth in my time, and I'm not proud of it. Now, that's maybe why I try so hard to give back now. That's why I show so much compassion for the people that do choose that lifestyle.
Wesley Aaron Calhoun and Denny A. Smith are facing federal charges. They have been indicted, and they're facing that in U.S. District Court. Their charges deal with the distribution of 550 grams of crystal meth. Police say they were arrested after a 5-month investigation.
It's a drug ring that stemmed from many other places as well, but yeah, around here locally, they were some kind of heavy players.
Don't give up hope. You can do all things. Nothing's impossible. You know, I had to do an 8-year prison sentence, 31 months before I got out, and it just totally changed my life.
Today he's helping others, pastoring a church and leading a construction company. He says addiction for him is in the rearview mirror.
And I believe that you can do all things. There's nothing that you can't change and nothing that you can't rewrite in your life.
In Pulaski County, Phil Pendleton, WYMT Mountain News.
Well, Somerset police say the bust was the culmination of work with the DEA, FBI, and state police. A historic restaurant in Lexington closed permanently Tuesday night after 7 decades in business. The Parkette Drive-In opened in 1951 with Joe Smiley at the helm. Well, people doubted Parkette's future, but opening night was a hit. The burgers and fried chicken brought in customers for 7 decades. Smiley's family still owns the place, but the Kaplan family has been managing it since 2008. Brian Timpton, Smiley's son-in-law, says business had declined through the years. The low revenue is prompting the Smiley family to shut the place down.
We feel that it's not going to work. It's like I said, its time has passed.
Well, Tipton says the Kaplan family asked to terminate their lease. Randy Kaplan, a former co-owner of the drive-in, says he and about 20 employees are now out of a job. He's asking people in the community to hire them. The Challenger Center here in Hazard is providing an out-of-this-world experience for children around the region. Students from 13 different schools were selected to ask an astronaut a personalized question. A Central Kentucky group called Space Tango came to the center yesterday to help students prepare their questions before filming.
We are also here to talk about astronauts and what they do on the space station. So the students have this fantastic opportunity to connect with astronauts and ask their questions. So that's a rare opportunity to learn a little bit more about what happens above us.
Well, the students will be asked back to the center in August to see their questions answered by astronauts on live television. Now that's cool. A report from Stacker named the best school districts in Kentucky, with 2 school districts in our region making the top 10. Hazard Independent placed 9th in the state, while Pikeville Independent came in at number 6. The report said Stacker used data from Niche, who ranks schools based on a variety of factors like SAT, ACT scores, and teacher salaries. The Perry County Public Library is engaging in new ways to include all children in story time, including those with sensory needs. Our Jade Saylor talked with Children's Youth Services librarian about their new program.
Perry County Public Library is introducing a new program for children with sensory needs.
We'll greet each other, we'll read a story, and we'll be reading the story for up to 6 months, but we'll read it in different ways.
Sensory story time will take place at 2:30 every Friday.
We would go over it and we would read the story, and we would go along with the story is a felt board. And a felt board is just this big board, and you have these felt characters that go along and represent the story, and so you put it on the board as you're reading the story.
Including different learning styles for all children.
So that way, if we have people that are more visual learners or tactile learners, they have a chance to enjoy story time in a different way that may be more comfortable for them.
Aside from reading, there will be additional activities for children to engage in.
And it'll be year-round, and there'll be times we'll add in different songs, we'll add in different activities. We may come in and we may talk about, well, today we're going to talk about brown bear, but I may have little fur swatches.
So far, the library says it is receiving a lot of positive feedback.
I'm really hoping that they're really going to enjoy it because I've had such positive feedback from it.
The program kicks off on July 1st and will be every week year-round. In Perry County, Jade Saylor, WYMT Mountain News.
The library is open Monday through Saturday, and librarians have different events going on almost every day for kids to enjoy. Well, speaking of kids, now in Hazard, they now have another area to cool off this summer. The city of Hazard recently opened a splash pad next to the Farmers Market Pavilion downtown, hoping to provide another space for kids to come and enjoy themselves during the warmer months. Hazard City Manager Tony Eversole says they have more developments like this in the works.
This is great. This has been such a good investment that the city's done. We're going to do some more. We're going to put in another splash pad, hopefully by the end of the fall. And it's just something where you can see, I mean, they're having a ball. They love it, so it's great.
Well, he adds that the splash pad will be open Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday from 4 to 7 and from 1 to 6 on Saturday and Sunday. Just ahead this morning, a well-known toy company honors a late and great singer with one of its new toys. That's coming up next.
While rain chances stay low today, they start to pick up as we head toward the holiday weekend. The latest forecast in about 3 minutes.